Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. Amazing, beautiful viewers. We're going to pull 3 cards here and we're looking at what is in your blind spot. Like, what is it exactly that you're not seeing? Maybe in your situation, in your circumstance, or maybe in your subconscious. Whatever pulls through here that's going to help you the most. Maybe get unstuck or provide clarity in a situation that might be perplexing, or for whatever reason you're just not seeing this this part of self or the situation as clear as maybe you can. So we have our 3 options. Option 3, we have 2 cards rather than just 1. For those of you guys who are new to pick a card readings, you'll sit with these 3 piles or cards, and whichever one is calling to you will most likely have your message. It's absolutely fine to be drawn to multiple piles. There could just be multiple messages or just energy around you that's pulling through different aspects, okay? And sometimes we're only sort of seeing our own perspective, and there's the objective sort of truth that we might not be tapped into, and this could certainly be pulled through in different sort of aspects in these piles. So use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. I'm going to reveal these shortly for those of you guys needing a little bit more, but I will put the options in the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment below for the options 1, 2, 3. So let's take a look at these and then we'll pull a charm for each of these. Option 1, you guys have control. Option 2, you guys have patience. Option number 3, you guys have 2 cards. You guys have the card of creativity and the card of sharing. So let's pull a charm for each of these options. I'll pull the book out. Option number 1, you guys got the charm of the butterfly. Let's put that right there. Option number 2, you guys got the charm of this Christmas tree. Kind of is looking a little like Dr. Seuss style tree. Curly branches. Christmas tree. Interesting. Okay, and option number 3, you guys have the anchor. All right. So I'm going to move this box over. And I'm going to put these where you guys can sit with the energy. All right, so sit with these 3 piles, and when you're ready, select from the timestamp. I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, hello, beautiful pile number 1. I love you guys very much. I'm so blessed that you guys are here. You guys are very safe and welcome in this space with me today while we do your reading. I have pre-shuffled oracle cards that I've not looked at, and my question to Spirit was to take a look at your blind spot and see what it is you're not seeing right now, okay? And it's most likely something in regards to yourself that will help you to sort of navigate through maybe a current situation or something you're just not either wanting to see, or it's just in the shadow, or maybe about your situation that isn't making itself apparent to you because of, for whatever reason, we might have our own blinders on, okay? So use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether this pile is for you. Sometimes the biggest energy pulls through that's around us. So this might not be your energy, could be the energy in which you're working with through a situation. It's all going to be different depending on who you are and why you're here. Okay, so trust your own intuition over mine. Don't force anything to fit. If it's confusing, doesn't make sense, it's definitely not your reading. Okay, so let's tap into this energy check first before we lay out the cards and see if you resonate with some of what's pulling through. So I do feel as though this is pulled through as a subconscious energy here of a need for you to control how something's going. Okay, and we all kind of like to think that we have influence over certain things in our life, right? Because it makes us feel empowered. Okay, because I feel like this type of control isn't someone who's like controlling or outwardly sort of trying to be controlling in any way or force their way, you know, but what I feel this energy is pulling through, it's like not allowing the universe to unfold as it does and thinking that we could have sort of some influence over the outcome in a way here that tells the universe we know more than the universe. And I feel this is in regards to a massive transformation that's going on right now in your world. So the universe wants to deliver change. I don't feel as though you're resisting the change consciously, but I feel like the change is happening here. And I don't know that you realize the kind of change that the universe is delivering to you because it's not familiar. And so I think we're trying to engage with this change in the only way we know how. But the only way we know how is our old self and how we used to deal with things. So this is coming through very loud now. Okay, I feel like there's a massive change going on in your energy. So either a huge shift in regards to how you're engaged with the world, how you perceive the world, maybe spiritually or morally, or just your whole sort of identity might be on a change here. I feel like there's shifting happening here. And as we shift, or as we're being pulled to change and shift, because nothing is remaining the same in this world, everything changes and shifts. I feel like there's old habits of yours in how to deal with these sort of changes. And one of them is stemmed from a need to be in control, you know, in control of how this sort of happens or how it's happening. And so this is getting in the way because it's slowing down what's supposed to sort of progress, and it's causing some form of resistance. And I think the journey is going to be the journey one way or another, but it doesn't have to be painful, or we don't have to suffer in the journey. And so when we try to hang on to the illusion of control, or if we start to identify or attach to certain ideas, then we start to suffer during the process. And so if you're feeling like it's difficult, like it's difficult and you're not sure why it's so difficult, there's something going on within yourself. Okay, so let's see. Sorry, I know that one was really kind of coming through a little weird, but you can skip to the timestamp where we do the channeling if you want to go straight away to your reading, although this gives you an opportunity to tap into your own intuition. Like I say, you know, whatever you'll see, feel, or hear to sort of confirm that this is your reading. For those of you guys, developing your intuition is super important so that you know whether this is going to be your reading. Okay, and sometimes channeling comes through as I lay these out, so you might miss certain parts that maybe you're intended to hear, but only you know. So let's lay these cards out. We have the Priest, Perseverance, and Faith. Look at that. I think there's also something you don't see because it's not outwardly in front of you, and so you're being called to trust your intuition and your faith in the divine. And maybe for the very first time here, this blind faith, this blind trust in something we can't see is foreign. And so it makes us feel like we're out of control. When we are called to trust the unseen or have faith in something we can't touch, see, feel, or smell, you know, we want to have some sort of control here. But I feel like your intuition is being called, and your faith, you know, your trust in something greater than self. We might be doing the same thing here. Okay, the voice, look at that. So the rainbow talks about hope. We have perseverance. It's also the various sort of shades. So the voice, the different ways we could express something or even see something. So we have the paint palette here with Bob Ross. And we have exposed and revealed. Look at that, more intuitive eye. So we have seeing, we have speaking. These are all senses. And so when all of our senses are gone, what's left? Just the being. You're being called to trust your being. Wow. Okay, 21, number 3. And we have the lizard. So the lizard talks about the dream state, but from this card I always get like we're kind of wandering a desert, not getting the sustenance, the environment feels harsh, you know, cold-blooded, like it feels very barren, and but what we're not seeing again here, because I feel like if something were to sort of happen to this lizard, the lizard would regenerate, you know, like a tail, for example. It has regenerating capabilities here, which would be having this trust, but also because the butterflies talk about transformation, it's like what happens when the lizard gets through this sort of barren environment. So all it knows is the barren environment for right now. And so everything looks sort of barren. I was also getting the lizard is acclimated to this environment already. So I think you're acclimated to something already, and this is where control comes in, because we're used to the environment, but I feel like the environment isn't conducive to your growth. Okie dokie, bear. Hibernation, protection. Could be someone who's stubborn, possessive, protective. Definitely goes in line with the control here. Okay, blade, conflict, injury, and apprehension. Apprehension, certainly if we're apprehensive, there's a need for control. Okay, pomegranate, vitality, sensuality, and bodily autonomy. Now we have bodily autonomy giving me the senses again. Touch and sight and speaking. Okay, we have the fireplace. So this is like comfort. It's like the family room. I'm going to sneeze. Give me a second. Excuse me. One more. Nope. So it's like the opposite of this lizard. I'm going to sneeze again. Oh my goodness. Nope. Sorry, it's coming. So it's giving me the opposite. So like this feels very uncomfortable, unwelcome. We're on our own. It's not providing. This is like safe, warm, comforting. And even if we're alone or with people here, it's the same feeling of comfort. You know, if you're alone in this cozy room, you're still feeling okay. If you have people there, you're still feeling that love, you know. Here is like, it's a different energy. Okay, so we have money. So money could be representative of the material world. Okay. It's also, yeah, material world would be, you know, the sort of the senses. So when we're being pulled to have faith or trust in what we don't see, it pulls us out of the material world. Okay, so 21 with first breath, beginner's mind. Wow, and look, 21, 21. What are the chances of that with all of these oracle cards? So maybe look up angel number 2121. That's also the number 3, and 3 is about growth. It's the initial success. We have beginner's mind, so initial stages of something. And the first breath is giving something life here. But again, this is the senses I feel here. Okay. Like the voice, and it looks like his breath here. Giving something life. Okay, surrender, procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Now this looks like success if we have a handful of money. Okay, and then we have the steps, which look like they're leading to ascension here. Surrender the procrastination. And why we might be hesitating here with apprehension. Procrastination is stemmed from some sort of control. Okay, so we have loss 2 with events. And here we see the sailboat. The sailboat is sailing away, or it's coming to. We're not quite sure. I have a feeling it's going away is kind of what it feels like, because as we say, loss. Someone's standing there watching it leave. Nothing is sort of anchored here. If you guys were pulled to pile 3, the anchor in pile 3 is pulling through, because we would normally have our boat anchored to this dock. Okay, and then we have autumn. So we are approaching autumn time. This could be significant of giving us sort of a time frame, but autumn is all about when things are coming into harvest and things are dying off. And we have the number 19, which is the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot, because that'd be 10, and 10 is all about completion, end of cycle, and the Wheel of Fortune is all about the universe taking control, not us being in control. The divine, having faith. Okay, and then we have glass, number 30, or the number 3. 3 is really coming through your reading. Like I said, growth, initial success. Also, 3 is about relationships. Okay, multiple relationships here and how we engage. It's also the Empress, which is about abundance. It's also the Hangman reduce, which was giving me the multiple sort of ways we could see something, diverse perspectives. And it's also the World, and that's concluding something here. But glass is how we're seeing something. We're seeing something clearly. Do we have bottle vision here? Is it coming into focus? Okay, and then we have the rat, 28, or the mouse, or number 10 again coming through. Okay, let me sit with this energy and tap into what it is you're not seeing. Okay, pile 1. I feel inside you have a understanding or a calling towards something that I think you're chalking it up to less than what it is. And so there is a procrastination and an apprehension, a hesitancy in following this. And so whatever reasoning and excuses or identifications that you're making as to why you cannot is really what's in your blind spot, because I don't think you're fully understanding why you're not doing this thing. Okay, why you're not engaged, why you don't create that project, why you don't agree to this thing, why you don't sign on, why you don't commit, why you don't why you're not bought into whatever this is. So this is like this, designed like this for a very good reason. One, I think this whole shift, this whole change that's going on is your journey in order for you to understand some greater way to engage in your world when it comes to relationships and when it comes to how you engage with decisions and how you navigate in the world. And this is a good balance between what we don't see and trusting our intuition and the unspoken, the unseen, when it feels right and it's calling, trusting ourselves, trusting the divine, feeling aligned, understanding what's intuition. And then there's knowing, obviously in the five senses, what we hear, see, touch is confirming. But I feel like you're still in some sort of material world of needing to see, touch, taste, feel, hear, see in order to get convinced. Okay, and that makes sense because some people are just like, show me, or I need to see it, to believe it kind of thing here. But I feel like this whole lesson here is for you to be more aligned with the side that doesn't need all that stuff, because the objective truth here is that there is a divine being source that can tap into all of us divine beings to steer us. Okay, and so I feel like your current state environment isn't rejuvenating and rewarding right now. It feels to me like, and again, this is my disclaimer on my readings, is that sometimes it comes through very pointed and very extreme, these messages, but it could be on a scale. It could just be, it's kind of mundane. It's kind of, you've outgrown your environment too. Your environment just is not producing, and it's very limiting in a way here that is debilitating to your growth. The people, the experiences, like it seems very, it's no longer producing substance to you. So I think the way you're dealing with this is pulling away in a way here, for some of you guys, by like this bear just goes and hibernates. So some of you guys are contemplating. Okay, so you're a little further, you're in contemplation, but you're still not taking action, but you're pulled away, you're sort of not just in denial. Okay, but some of you guys are defending why you need to be doing the same thing here, thinking that your reasoning is right, and this is what you're not seeing. But it's all stemmed from the control, and the control here is to have things unfold in a way that we could see, touch, and see, right? Because it validates and confirms, and it gives us a sense of safety and security, because we can put a story to it and attach to what we're seeing, tasting, feeling, okay, like the senses. But when we don't see it and it's kind of obscure and we're just called to trust, it's a sense of losing all control. And so we don't want our world to be upside down, or we don't want to peg ourselves to something that's kind of up in the air. But what Spirit is saying is that this is part of the transformation, and why the pull here is so strong, why your intuition understands and is seeing this very clearly as an inner knowing, not necessarily the eyes, but the intuition. It's pulling you very strongly here, is because for you to overcome this apprehension, to trust in the divine and your intuition, to listen to that as a sense, because it is pulling you to an environment that is more suited for the growth that you're having in your world. And so it provides discomfort when we first try, when we're a beginner and we don't understand, to lean into that. If we've always trusted our own ability and not the divine, to get through things, or the material world is what we would rely and see, that would be where we'd put all our trust and our decisions. But this is flipped. Okay, and so I feel like the material world as you know it is still sort of hanging on to you, and you hanging on to it, but this is causing sort of the suffering and the uneasiness here, because we know that there's something greater than this that you're being called to do. And so to let go of this and surrender and say, you know what, I gotta trust my intuition and this unspoken, unseen thing here that's pulling me to invest in this thing that has no guarantee other than me just knowing. And so with this comes obviously the death of whatever needs to die in the material world. But is it really dying, or is it going to produce to you in a different way here? You know, like I feel like the transformation doesn't mean everything sort of dies. I feel like it's now integrated into your shift and your change in a way that produces for you what you need, but you engage with it differently. Your relationship with it is different. Like your relationship with the material world is different. It's not that this material world just completely sort of disappears and vanishes forever. It's like, now how do I engage? You know, because there's multiple ways of engaging with something. And the physical, it could appear the same, but the energy behind how we're engaged in this could be completely different. Like, what's our intention in engaging with this thing? I hope this is making sense, because I know it's kind of sounding a little vague with this thing, but the thing, because we're all, all viewers here are trying to keep their world in a way here the same, whatever it may be, work, relationship, environment, whatever life we're living, and we're all living different lives, okay, but we're trying to justify that energy rather than embracing change. So the part we're not seeing really is the depth of why, and we might be not understanding really it's stemmed from our need to control at the end of the day. And so if we knew this, then we'd be able to see things differently. And if we know that we're trying to control this, then I think we're needing to look deeper into this. I feel like there's a constant pull to this thing. It's not going to go away. You know, I think it's getting more annoying and loud. And so the more you resist, ignore, deny, suppress, make excuses, reasons, I think you're going to get more in suffering, you know, more in suffering. There's a need to sort of take action on this and bring it into focus here. Let's pull some tarot and see what we see here. Spirit, can we please see a little bit more for pile 1? What are they not seeing here? As in their blind spots here in regards to what we're tapped into energetically for pile 1. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. What are they not seeing? What do they need to know? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. Thank you so, so much. I think I don't know. There's a message coming through here. So I'll only take what resonates here, but do we feel like we belong in like an environment that's not producing? You know, like, does it go deeper? I mean, I know I see control here, but I feel like maybe the divine is trying to pull you out of wandering a desert, because really, how can one be satisfied wandering the desert? But yet a lizard would be. And so maybe you feel like you're a lizard. Okay, you're a lizard in this desert, and that's your abode, right? Like that's your where you should be. And so you're relating as yourself as this lizard. But in the meanwhile, the divine is saying, hey, maybe you think you're a lizard here, And so you're saying you're okay with this environment, but the environment is actually cold and not good, and like you're actually not the lizard. You know, I don't even think you're the bear, to be honest. I think the bear is how you're handling this. Either you're stubborn, or you're overprotective of why you're doing it, or you think you're this lizard, you know, but you're doing this out of a control. You know, if I convince myself I'm this lizard, then I'll stay in this sort of environment for whatever reason. But under that, we're trying to control the situation, because we know we'll feel sort of out of control when it's trying to pull us to this comfort of this fireplace. And the comfort of the fireplace just is a metaphor here to making you feel safe and not out on your own and out in the cold, and, you know, not with what's producing here for you. Because I feel like you could be in an environment that supports and makes you feel safe here and warm, and it's going to produce, but we have to know we're not the lizard. Okay, let's see, what is this all about? So we have the Lovers. Here's the choice. Okay, Lovers, all about a choice. Gemini energy. The Black and White. Okay, and we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. This is the 10 Wands of burden, where we're just going it alone. It's like this lizard energy I was getting. Well, navigating through the desert, I got to do it alone. Whatever belief we have, the burden we carry, you know, a belief that we must, or we're the only ones that can or have to for whatever reason, and it's over, it becomes too heavy. And in the reverse, it's like we can't carry that burden no more. And so even this rat, it's like a constant sort of chewing on whatever the thing is until it ruins the integrity of the thing and the thing falls over. Like there's a wearing away here. Death by a million paper cuts. Four Swords. So this is this bear energy. This is hibernating, pulled away to reflect. A pause. But I feel this might be us really how we're dealing with the apprehension and the procrastination. Okay. And then we have the 10 of Cups. This is what the universe wants to give to you, okay? This 10 Cups. This is what I feel this is here. So 10 Cups is ultimate emotional fulfillment here. And we were getting a lot of threes, which I was saying is like relationship. Because I feel like this is the opposite. This is, I'm alone. I gotta do it alone, but I feel removed. It doesn't feel natural, but we're telling ourselves we're naturally in this environment for a reason. Okay, well, whatever the belief is here that we need to be here. And I think the underlying thing is the control. Okay, so because if we were told like we're denying 10 Cups, we'd say, well, no, I'm not denying a 10 Cups. Who would deny ultimate emotional fulfillment? And I would say you are. You are. Because the choice is yours and it's put in front of you. And you're choosing to believe that you're a lizard. Okay? Like, I know this is all metaphor, so hopefully you can apply it to your situation. And the universe is saying, well, there's something abundant here that it wants to give to you, but you have to trust your intuition. You have to trust in the divine. You have to let go of what you see, feel, or hear, or what you're, like, defending. What you're being stubborn against, what you're procrastinating about, what you're making reasons for apprehension. And 3 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, because in that environment that you're in, you're navigating the desert, there is no growth. There's no expansion for you. You can't work with the transformation. This transformation with this butterfly is all about liberating ourselves. You know, like the growth to the capacity of which we can be. On our 3 Wands in reverse, it's like we're stuck. And then the Four of Wands in reverse. We're blocking. This is all about a rite of passage, okay? This is coming together, celebrating, having union, laying the groundwork for a major milestone. Could mean marriage. It could mean our community or sense of belonging. And in reverse, it's like it doesn't happen. It's canceled. It falls apart. But we're not even moving here. So it doesn't happen. The sense of community or the foundation to a long, stable, secure marriage, relationship, comings together, a building of something. You know, the ideal thing here that would make us happy. The choice is ours. For some of you guys, it could be a relationship with the Lovers and the Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands. But it's blocked before it even gets here. And so I feel what Spirit is saying with this 10 Wands in reverse is like we will get to the point where we can't carry on like the lizard anymore. And so this is why we're suffering. Because we're still pretending to be a lizard or identifying with something in our world as us being that thing that we're really not. And so when we identify as a thing, we are really attached to that story. I am a blank, whatever it may be. Are we? Are we that blank? I don't think so. Remove all those stories, and who are you without any of those stories? That's who you are. So we believe in some sort of identity, some sort of thing that we think we are. And it's all stemmed because we're trying to control the situation, because we feel more in control. Meanwhile, the divine is saying you have to surrender. There is transformation that's happening in order to allow you to expand, move towards something that is going to be your community, your sense of belonging, that's going to bring you ideal fulfillment, abundance, okay? And it's going to feel a lot better. It's going to support you a lot better. It's not going to feel like you're removed. It's not going to be this angst feeling, you know? So what's at the bottom of the deck? The Moon. Yeah, there's definitely fear, okay? Because when we are asked to give the control to something we don't see at all, it's scary. But I feel like this is also talking about the subconscious thing that we're trying to unravel here, that's really looking at why the need to control, or why we're saying we're the lizard, or why we're procrastinating or making the decisions we are here. So is fear steering, you know? Are we being really honest with our situation and how we're seeing it? Or do we keep feeding that same identity and that same story? Like, we got to go even deeper, you know, start at the beginning, remove all the stories. Because if we already start with the concept that we're the lizard, everything that follows will support your story. But now we're in moonlight because we already started off saying we were a lizard. You know, and I'm just using that as the analogy, but what I mean by the lizard is we are whatever we say we kind of are. So if we already start with the concept that we're this, we're that, we're this, we're that, we're going to live out that story. And so we're none of those things. We're not a lizard, we're not a bear, we're not a rat, we're not anything. The universe is putting in front of you objectively. It's neither positive nor negative. It's just, it is what the universe has in front of you. Okay, and so we got to remove the filter of the moon to see it objectively without stories and identities. And that then we see, and then we can make decision. Okay, a decision. But I feel like right now it's hazy. Yeah, I feel it's hazy. We can't quite make the decision. We know there's a decision to be made. And we're like, but why can't I kind of drop the other energy? Because I feel like you could see it. Okay, it's not like it's so hidden that you don't see this decision in front of you. I think you see it, but I think you're still hanging on to one version story that's actually moonlight, that already began with a lie. So therefore you can't see which way to go and clearly the right decision for you. You know, and this is why it's nagging and constantly there, because it's saying, hey, pile one, take another look here. Why are you you know, thinking that you can't go here because of some belief or some way you're seeing something here. King of Cups. I feel like, and this is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, I feel like there is a lot of love, a lot of love here, okay? Like love pulling you in the right direction. And if we just listen to our intuition, to our love, and we haven't done this before, it feels very foreign. And so we start to hang on to what feels like control. And it might conflict with our heart space, you know? And so I feel like you love whatever this thing is, but we're looking at it from skewed sort of perspective. All right, so that's what's sort of hidden, but I feel like I need to give you advice because I don't want to just leave you here. So maybe now that you see it, maybe you can do something differently here. Like, did you miss out on something? Is it leaving? Is that option leaving? Like, we had the 3 wands in reverse, and here it kind of is giving me 3 wands with the sailboat. And it's all about getting on that ship in order to expand. And your ship was blocked here. Did it leave? Did it leave already? I don't know. Let's see. What is the... I mean, we always have an opportunity to expand, but maybe there's a situation that you feel is over or has ended, or that your chance is over, or you no longer have a chance to do this something. And what is the guidance here for pile 1? What are they needing to know? What is still up in the air here that I'm missing, Spirit? Clear and concise message for pile 1. What is this about? Okay, I will take all of them. So, High Priestess, what we don't see, our intuition that we're being called to trust. The Tower in reverse. This is always where we don't want what we've built in some way, our environment, to completely be shattered. So we try to upkeep some sort of illusion, although the thing that we're trying to upkeep isn't solid, and at any point it could come down. And it comes down because the foundation in which it's built is no longer going to secure this. It's no longer going to secure this thing. And I think your environment in which maybe you've consistently been in at some point, which might have felt comfortable or might have supported, is no longer going to support. And so we're needing to trust our intuition, and where we're being pulled here. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So we're dependent on some sort of material aspect, I feel, here as well. That's what I was getting from the money. Okay, dependent on that. But it produces this, that, and the other. You know, it's how I get my this, that, and this thing that I need. So now we're believing that there's lack in the world, that we have to depend. Okay, that we're not able to have growth and expansion and the universe provide for us throughout this change, that we have to stay little to depend on something. And that's our belief story we tell ourselves, but we don't have to. Okay, this is like a lack mindset. It makes us unhappy. So here's the 9 swords. There's the anxiety, makes us unhappy. Okay, this is this rat energy, constant gnawing. Like I said, death by a million paper cuts. Keeps coming in my mind, keeps coming in my mind. I'm just so annoyed with these thoughts because I'm maybe going back and forth, procrastinating. But why do I keep thinking it? I know I need to make a decision, but I can't because of this. Okay, that sort of thing. The Emperor in reverse, can't take action, don't feel empowered. Don't know how to make it happen because I keep coming back to this tower that I need to depend on, or it produces this thing. Okay, so I'm attached to the identity of this thing. I'm not removed from this thing in order to make a decision. I'm blending into this thing thinking it's a part of me or who I am, which I'm not. Here's the 7 wands. So I was really getting this from the Baron, defending. I'm making arguments why I have to sort of remain doing what I do. You know, this is going to fall, this provides this. If I do that, then this will happen. And so this is us defending our insanity. Okay. We're defending why we're a lizard. We're defending the psychosis really that's happening here. Okay, because I feel like there's a bigger truth than this that wants to come in. And so we're resisting, again, stemmed from this control on the subconscious that's wanting a massive change, how you engage. Because once we go through this transformation, we start to see, hey, I can apply this everywhere. I don't need to depend on the material world in a way here and identify as this thing. That I can release and surrender things that aren't sustainable for me or making me happy, regardless of what it is. Period. End of story. I don't have to attach a whole big story to it. I don't have to defend it. I just need to seek my happiness. Period. Page of Cups, go seek my happiness. This is that beginner mindset. You know, beginner mindset. I'm being pulled to this thing of abundance here. So I need to take the initial step. And the Three of Cups in reverse. And 6 Swords. And what's at the bottom of the deck? The 5 Wands. So we're conflicted, okay, with the 5 Wands. We might not want to have to go through the conflict of what this would look like, but we're having a lot of anxiety that it would cause more conflict than what it's worth here. And so I feel like with this 3 Cups and this 6 Swords, it's like, I'm going to sacrifice the joy of relationship, okay? Because 3 Cups is our community again. The things that I would enjoy doing. My creative and emotional way to relate in the world is blocked here. Because I don't want to conflict with what's going on here. And Spirit is saying we have to get out of that situation in order for us to then see clearly. But we're in 5 Swords right now. And we don't realize we're making excuses and defending and think we need to depend on something here. Okay, but really we got to move out of that. This is the conflict that we're not seeing here. Okay, not seeing, and so we need to trust our intuition, see ourselves clearly, know that we're trying to upkeep some sort of tower that is actually not sustainable for us. Okay, and this will allow us to get empowered to take action towards what we love. But I feel like we feel like we can't do anything right now. But this is a misnomer. This is the lizard mindset. Okay, so this is what I see. Pile 1. So what does this mean? It means moving away with the truth. You know, moving out of 5 Swords with 1 truth here. And there's the butterfly. Look at that. Right on the sword of truth. And the great truth here. Okay, the great truth. The objective truth, whether we want to see it or not see it here, because this is all about what's hidden. And I feel like the truth that's hidden here is the change that's happening here. The growth. And that's something that's going to happen. That needs to happen. It's a great truth that we're suppressing, denying, or not acting on with the sword of truth down. We don't want to see it. We're not taking action on it. We're not wanting to accept it. Or, you know, and Spirit is saying, like, take that sword of truth, communicate, take action on it, and see what happens. Don't defend this. Okay, pile 1, that's what I see. I love you so, so much. I hope this resonated for you guys. I'm so glad to be back doing your reading, and I wish you guys all a very blessed healing on your path. It's not easy, all right? But I am here, and if you're looking for more readings, I do have a playlist. You can go take a look at that, see if there's anything else that resonates for you that might help, okay? I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, gorgeous pile number 2. You guys picked the card of patience, number 7, and the curly Dr. Seuss Christmas tree that I'm seeing here. It does look like a Christmas tree to me. I don't know, maybe am I seeing it wrong? No, it's a Christmas tree. Okay, so we'll get into this energy, but what are we doing? Well, we're looking at your blind spot, you know, potentially something you're not seeing in regards to maybe how you are relating with the situation, how you're connecting to it, something in yourself, something in your subconscious, or something that's preventing you from seeing objectively. But what aren't you seeing exactly? Okay, and I have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at them, and I asked Spirit exactly that. And so I do ask you to use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. Only you can do this. If it's confusing, doesn't make sense, then don't force it and go check out another pile. It means it's just not for you. Okay, so in order to do this, you could sit through the card layout, which is the best way to tune into your intuition. Although I know it does take some time here, so I will put a timestamp for the channeling. Okay, but before I get into the channeling of the whole message, I'm going to sit with this energy to see if you resonate with this bit as much as I can get before we get into the rest of it. So, well, patience is interesting. I hate when people say be patient, because for me, it's it gives me a feeling of I don't know how to put it into words, but I feel there's a feeling here of I've already been patient. Don't tell me to be patient. That's kind of how I feel you're feeling. And it's like you know, in Christmas time, we when we're kids, we could be really close to Christmas, but it always seems like it's so far away. And so all we're really thinking about is like, man, like I just want to open my presents, you know, and like I can't wait for it to be that special time, like that special time. And so the buildup is like, oh, so much anticipation, you know, so much anticipation, and like it just seems so far away. What seems so far away? And look, she's pregnant, and pregnant is about birthing something, but birth takes time. Like it takes time. Like if she were to give birth right now, it wouldn't be good. The birthing process knows what it's doing. It takes as long as it takes for this baby to be formed perfectly as it's supposed to when it comes into the world. But this is a blessing, you know, it's like a gift. And so in Christmas we get a gift, we get blessings. And we're supposed to get the blessing. I think we want the blessing, the gift, the thing. But what we're not seeing maybe is the process in which is happening in order for this blessing to be the perfect thing. And so we are asked to be patient, you know, and like I said, it's annoying when people like be patient. It's like, but I have been. And it's like, well, what if the mother, you know, has a really difficult pregnancy? And so by the 4th month, she's just like I've been patient. Like for her, it's a relative, right? Like 4 months could seem long. Like if we're suffering, 4 months is quite some time. But if she knew that it really takes 9 months for a pregnancy and she's only in month 4, she'd say, well, I'm not even halfway there. I gotta be patient because I'm doing this for my baby and for the baby to be healthy and for everything to be well. And so she wouldn't be forcing the baby at 4 months because she's uncomfortable, right? This is weird. This is the way I'm channeling this. I don't generally channel this way, but this is kind of the energy I'm picking up here. And then we see the moon, and moon's all about feminine energy. So that's emotions. It's your subconscious. It's a range of emotions I'm seeing here. And I feel like it's taken so many cycles. Like we remain in months and months is how I feel. Because the moon is representing, you know, a lunar cycle is like a month, give or take. So we've seen so many lunar cycles here. And it's like something's cultivating. Is it ever coming? You know, is Christmas ever coming? Is the gift ever coming? And like, why do I gotta wait for Christmas to open my gift? But it's like the mother's like, well, why do I gotta, you know, wait till the baby's ready to deliver? Because you do, child. You gotta wait till Christmas before you open your presents. But there's something about the Dr. Seuss. And so Dr. Seuss is all about seeing things kind of from a very pure perspective that resonates very much with the truth. You know, how a child would see things clearly without convoluting it. So I feel like because there's been many cycles, there's a lot of convoluted things getting in the way. And so we might be skewed with seeing what really matters. And what really matters is the baby. What really matters, you know, when we're a child is like, okay, is the day of Christmas and opening your gifts. You know, like having that day come at the end of the day is what's going to matter to us. But we start to make up whatever we do here, and it starts to create impatience. Feel you're impatient. Okay. So let's see. I don't know. Let's see what's coming through, because I really, really want to see now what's in your blind spot. So we have the scholar, investigation and research. Okay, this is all about intellectual knowledge, but here we see the intuitive eye, and intuitive is more of a knowing. We have a rolled up scroll, so we can't see, like this is kind of like Christmas, we can't see the blessing. It's hidden, so we don't know how it's going to unfold. But everything else here is sort of, you know, like a what's that called, a geometry set, you know, math, writing, like this is all like stuff we can sort of see. And then we have the hidden book. I feel like you want to see something here. You don't want to trust things are happening here that you can't see. Okay, the natural world. So this is from the Bob Ross Oracle. The natural world. Okay, and then we have close encounters with the number 10. The cage, and here we have 2 butterflies. If you're drawn to pile 1, we had a butterfly charm. It could be connected here. Cage is all about not feeling free. But we have 1 butterfly here and 1 here. Butterflies are about liberation and transformation. And here we have 2 close encounters. Okay. And we have the tapir. Something is going on in your world here, and I'm going to read the tapir because you know that there's something here that's different. Okay, you know there's something different here. Acting in service to others, selflessness. In dreams, the tapir is often linked to gentleness and a need to be kind and compassionate towards other people. This is despite its close genetic ties to the rhino, a rather tough animal. The natural disposition of this unique creature is rather shy, although they do live in small social units, especially during their mating years. The appearance of the tapir card asks us to consider acts of service as a love language and the practical steps we can take to show up for others. Depending on your personality, you may or may not already embody acts of service as a love language. These tangible displays of love don't always match the controversial idea of romance, but in some ways they may mean more. Part of being a human being is operating within a community and showing up for others in their time of need. Our social selves thrive only when we have a solid support system in place, no matter how introverted or private we may be. If you've pulled the tapir card, it's your turn to show up for those you care about and act in service to your love for them. Maybe someone needs a favor, or the person you live with could use your help accommodating a task. When we are physically present for those we care about, the impact of our actions stays with them much longer than anything else does. Offer your helping hands. So you feel something's going on, I feel, but I feel like with this whole thing being an act of service to others, we might be seeing what we're losing out, or our loss, or what restriction we have. Okay. Meanwhile, it's helping liberate someone else here. This is kind of making sense here. Okay, broom. New starts, cleansing, and resources. We have the superhero. Getting empowered here with the cape. Definitely your energy. Magician's sword. Confidence in your magic, 37. Which is number 10. 10 coming through twice. So we have 10, 10. Okay, 10 is completion, end of cycle. It's also about the transformation with the butterfly. Sword of truth. Magician sword. The magician has the power to take action. Empowered. Cleansing and resources and new starts. Okay, surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Okay. And we have back and forth, intention, number 5. Teeter-totter or seesaw. Back and forth, 5, intention. Okay, and then we have reddening coming to life. Here's the two. We're getting the back and forth, the silver and the gold. Snake is all about healing and wisdom. It's number 15. 15's the devil in the tarot. Just something that could be toxic or where we feel restricted. Capricorn energy. Okay, and then we have sun. This is empowerment. This is divine masculine energy I was getting from this superhero, getting empowered, taking action. Look at the hand, doing something about it, acts of service, doing something about it that you can do, that you're empowered to do here. Okay, and here we have all the gems. Number 5 coming through again, so 2 5s. Okay, 5 is about change and rebuild. It's also conflict, loss. And here we have the mountain. 27, or the number 9. Mountain's about something maybe fixed, an obstacle we feel is very fixed or getting in the way. Or it could be something very solid that you could rely on. But I feel it's more something that gets in the way. Okay, let me sit with this energy. You can go click on the timestamp to take you to the channeling and see what pulls through. Okay, pile 2, we'll see more with the tarot here, hopefully, because I don't know, like, what is so important with this message coming through, but there's a feeling of, and I don't think, if I were to ask you if you were selfish, you'd say no, I feel, okay? And I'm not calling you selfish, but I'm saying our intention here. We are going to sit with this and how we're going to question this is saying, is any of your best intention, okay, the best intention you see here, have any connection to yourself at all? Do you want anything for yourself at all? Okay, and if you're connected to this intention in any which way, then I'm calling it as selfish. Okay, and so you can do this. There's no right, there's no wrong, and you could definitely drive for self, but I feel you would agree with me in what I think you want, because I think this mother wouldn't be selfish and say, this is too difficult, I'm now gonna just, I don't want this baby anymore, you know, it's too difficult for me to go through this pregnancy. Yeah, the last 2 months, 3 months, like, I can't no more. No, if she knew it was 9 months, I think I think if she knew it was 2 years, she'd still have the baby. 3 years, she'd probably still have the baby, right? Maybe if it's like 10 years, maybe she can reconsider getting pregnant altogether. But my point being, I think she doesn't see, she doesn't know, she's called to trust, and she's like, I don't understand, like, am I going to be pregnant forever? Like, this is difficult. Like, whatever she's going through is limiting her. So that's you. So you're in a limiting situation. Okay, like, we're waiting for Christmas here, but we don't know, like, how many more days, like when we're a kid, like how many more sleeps, and what does it feel like when I hear, 20 days till Christmas, we're like, oh my gosh, like, what does that even mean? And like, we feel like we're at the mercy of something, and so it's sometimes we just don't even want to deal, or we don't know how to deal. And why this is happening here is for you to really tap into the selfless part, which is being of service to others, because I feel there's someone in your world or something that really requires you to be completely selfless. Completely. And I think you would do it because it's your baby. But I don't think you're connecting to it in this way. I think you keep turning it back to, but I'm in the prison, or but at the same time, why do I need to suffer? But it's like, you're not suffering. You're only suffering if you tell yourself you're suffering. You're only torturing yourself. There's nothing, this is a natural thing. Okay, if the mother's like, but why do I need to suffer in my body? If she keeps thinking this, meanwhile, it's like, well, this is naturally how you give birth. You carry the baby inside you, and then you give birth. Natural. Okay, so what's happening here, I think, is natural, but you're connecting to it as suffering. And that doesn't mean you're not really suffering and just, it's all an illusion. You're not really suffering. Yeah, you're suffering, but the reason you're suffering is the attachment and story and identity you're having to this experience. And so when you start to connect to it in that way, you're going to remain feeling stuck and like you're suffering. And so now we need to change. What we're not saying is change how we're engaged with this, because if we told this mother a different story, then just sort of sit there, don't, like this is first mother in history and she doesn't know how long she's going to be pregnant or what to expect or any of this, she'd have all these questions. She'd have all these questions and she wouldn't even know whether she wants to have a child or not, because for all she knows, her body could explode. She doesn't know. Okay, I know this is very dramatic and extreme, and it's only an analogy here of what I'm feeling, and I'm feeling like your situation. You're feeling limited because you don't see, you're not in the know, and so although your intention might be, well, I just want to be happy and free, and those are all good things, of course. Yes, and you shouldn't not want this, but if this mother says, well, I just don't want to feel pain, and I want to be happy and free, would we say, yes, okay, fine, don't, yeah, baby, never mind the baby, just, yeah, you're happy and free is very important here. It's like, yes, in context, mother needs to be happy and free, but the mother would do this selfless act to have this miracle baby be born. Okay, miracle baby be born. So I feel like there's a miracle baby being born, and tying back to Christmas in your world that you want it. Okay, it transcends the suffering and limitations you're experiencing, but it requires you to be selfless. But I think you don't know how to do this, and how you would do this is to silence that discomfort by connecting and contemplating with love. What can I do to service others right now? Because whatever I feel I'm lacking is because I'm not giving. Okay, if I feel like I'm limiting, that means I'm limiting others in this way, or I'm limiting the world in some way. So I feel like our back and forth is my miracle baby, I will do anything, and then, but I don't know how long I'm going to have to carry this baby, or if my body's going to explode and I'm so discomforted. And so we're going back and forth. Okay, we're going back and forth. And the whole time, Spirit is saying this miracle baby is like growing. And we don't need to be in the turbulency of our mind and the back and forth. We don't need to even sit in this at all. This mother, if she knew, okay, but she won't, but if she knew, it's 9 months, you might have discomfort, it's going to come. Now she sees it, now she's at peace, and she could sit here and she wouldn't be in this. But this mother doesn't see. There's things she's being asked to trust, and it's like her mind, her intellectual mind, that needs to know it. And Spirit's saying, no, you don't need to know it. Trust in miracle baby here. Don't feel limited and restricted by what you don't know. That means you're not in the present moment of enjoying what this is. And how bad do you really want this miracle baby? And so when we sit in silence and really connect to what's greater, the baby is greater. We're actually more empowered than we think. She could probably go 2 years, I don't know, being pregnant or whatever. And she's only, at 3 months and having a difficult time, and she's already challenged. Meanwhile, maybe if she had to go however long, if she knew that this baby for sure was going to come, and like she knew what the baby was and all this, she would feel like this superhero and she'd accomplish it. So I feel like you can accomplish this thing. You have the patience, you have the know-how, you have the ability. I think instead of being, hey, how can I be of service in this situation? Or more turned around, and I called it the selfish way, because it's like, what about like this discomfort or this thing that I'm experiencing here? It's really like getting in the way here, okay? Getting in your way, because you don't need to be discomforted. Like, you're going to have a beautiful blessing here. And so we can get rid of this noise. We can get rid of the things we don't need to see, hear, experience. And it doesn't mean that we're not in discomfort, but it means the discomfort pales in comparison. you know, but here we're sort of blowing it out to proportion, like it's this massive obstacle that's kind of getting in the way here, but I don't feel it is. I feel like you can do whatever you can do, which I feel you could do more. You could do more and just focus on that. What can I do right now? Okay, like what can I do right now? Because I feel like in this situation, you're more capable than the others around you, and you're also more capable than you think. And so we cannot get in our own mind about, well, everyone else isn't doing it, you know, because the end result here is something you want. The miracle baby is for you. I don't know how else to explain this, but yeah, like the treasure here is you get to enjoy this. Never mind what everyone else is doing or how the situation may be appearing to be impacting you so much as how you engage with this whole thing here. And so if your intention isn't always kicking it back to, how can I make my blessed baby my thing, and just trust in the divine, even though I don't see it on paper, even though maybe it's not clearly obvious to me just yet. This is a natural, universal thing that's flowing, that right now I have the ability, because I'm capable and free to do this, and I could see it, that I could be of service, that I could be in a giving energy, that I could be always checking my intention here for the greatest thing, rather than seeing it in a different way, because then I'm going back and forth, because I feel like you want to have the good intention, you know, and I feel like you want to have the miracle baby here, and I think you wanted the best thing for everyone involved, but you don't want to say like, oh, but I don't want to be the only one suffering, or the only one playing a fool, or the only one picking up the slack, or the only one like, but where's this coming from? Where's that voice coming from? So I think this also impacts, like with all this confidence in your magic. I think you're more capable than you think in this situation to enjoy it differently, or to experience it differently, or to do things differently than you think. So your mind is limiting you and what you can actually bring to this situation, because I think you're bringing suffering and limitation to this situation. And so if we're asked to just be patient and quiet and surrender to what's happening in the natural world, and that will be of service, then do that. Maybe there's nothing proactive you need to actually be doing, so much as the action you need to take is surrender to the silence and the natural world of what's unfolding. There you go. Now we're at ease. Now we're being of service to the universe. We're not causing all this tension, aggravation. We can get empowered to do this. You know, but I do feel as though this is also showing up for others. Yeah, because I feel you feel really stuck on your position here, or like this, there's no way overcoming this. Like, you feel really stuck, like this mother would feel stuck. Like if you're pregnant, like what are you going to do? Like you're attached to this thing, right? Like it's there, it's there, it's there. It's like, if that's all you see, it feels like this mountain. Like, let's just say if she, you know, I'm talking about not a typical pregnancy where we already know how long it will be and all that. I'm talking about, so you don't even know what pregnancy is, so much as all of a sudden you're pregnant here and you have no understanding of what you can't see, and you feel very stuck to this thing. You can't escape it, and you're stuck, and it's driving you nuts, and you're discomforted, you know. But if she knew, if she only knew that yes, the baby's there, but if she only knew the blessing of this baby, which is more, is so much more, she'd be patient till the cows come home. You know, and if the child knew at Christmas he's getting out everything that was on his list, and eventually he'd open that, I think the child would be okay with this. You know, wow, like I'm going to get everything on my list. But if you told the child, well, if you open it early, you know, if it's now, you're only going to get, you know, one of your things here. Like, the patience is worth it. You mean I'd get everything on my list if I just wait for Christmas? You know, I don't got to open one gift now. Like, yeah, all on Christmas Day. You know, Okay, I don't know if this is making sense to you guys, but this is exactly how your reading's coming through. So let's see for pile 2. Yes, pile 2 spirit. Clear and concise message for the greatest and guide. Oh, Linda. For pile 2, for the greatest and highest good of pile 2 spirit, thank you so much. I'm so blessed to be here. So grateful for this message. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Feeling this one. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be doing your reading. I love you guys very much. And yeah, I'm sorry if I call you selfish, because I do feel like you're a beautiful soul, and I do feel like you're feeling really stuck, you know, but that's the blind spot. We feel stuck. We feel like we can't do anything. And the reality is, yeah, she's kind of stuck there, but really the big blessing here, it's like, don't complain. If only you knew. If only you knew. Okay, so 5 swords. So this is the conflict. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. Okay, conflict. 7 wands. Defensive. This could be arguments. You know, me against everything else. Like, why do I gotta be the one that's pregnant? Why do I? Like, no. That's that energy. Okay, 2 of Pentacles. That's the seesaw, back and forth. And then it's like, we kind of see, well, I kind of know what a baby is. I kind of, yeah, it would be a blessing. And so now we're there. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, but I don't want to, and I'm feeling that. So now we're 2 Pentacles. In one mind, and one mind, and one mind, and one mind. So the universe is saying, hey, like, if you want this blessing, then be committed to what it would take this mother to deliver this blessing. And that the only imbalance and turbulence you're experiencing is that of your own making. And just ground yourself, knowing that you are pregnant in this moment. I know I keep relating to that. Know your situation is what it is right now. And that's beautiful. No need to be turbulent about it. It's beautiful. Trust in the universe why the situation's happening, because you're about to deliver the magical baby. A blessing. Page of Cups in reverse. 4 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I'm going to check her own thing. King of Pentacles in reverse. King of Cups. And the Knight of Wands. Okay, so we have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And we're feeling Devil from here as well, which was Capricorn. And King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Yeah, 7 of Wands. Okay, so we have to act out of love. You know, check back with the heart. Don't check back with what didn't work and stories of the mind, you know, like, but this happened and but that happened. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because I think you could get out of that. And what you're not seeing is that you're in that energy. And Spirit's saying, get out of that energy. Feel the love for your child, the baby you want here, because the thing that you want, whatever it is really pulled to your heart. You're really connected to this thing. Run with that. Use that. That's it. That's the only thing that's going to liberate you. And if you are feeling back and forth, if you're feeling like, but I can't really rely on this thing to be the thing, and I don't know and see, and now we're in that energy, we got to lean on the surrendering to silence, trusting in the divine, knowing it's the natural process, not feeling stuck. If we feel like we're not getting, that means we're not giving. So what Spirit's saying is, if you feel unloved, give love. If you feel removed, start to be engaged, you know, run with that. Let that be your driver. Stem from your love of whatever this is, because it will get better. It will be born. You know, it's going to be what you make of this thing. I mean, there's no need to suffer. There's no need to not trust. There's no need to go back and forth. You know, that doesn't mean that this thing isn't loving you. It's how you're perceiving it to be. You're perceiving it to be, because it's not doing X, Y, Z. That means I'm limited. It's like, no, you believe to be limited. You're not. Because it's not doing this, that, and the other. It means this. It's like, no, that's what you think it means. You're causing conflict. Get out of that. That's it. This is your message. You know, I hope this helped you guys. I love you guys very much. I know it's difficult when we feel like we're the only ones sweeping the room, and why the hell doesn't the other person ever pick up the broom and sweep? But it's like, well, if that person wasn't there, you'd have to sweep kind of anyway, you know. But it's more than that, because I feel like when you do sweep, you end up getting all the blessings of, I don't know, all the money you end up finding on the floor or something like this. There's something here, okay, that overrides it. So just trust in the divine. Trust that the divine isn't going to let you just suffer and be imprisoned. You're the one creating that imprisonment for yourself. The divine is giving you this blessing, and it is coming for you. You know, just trust. Lean in that. Be in the present moment. Christmas is coming. You'll open all your gifts. Divine's not going to leave you high and dry. Okay? This is what I see. Pile number 2. I love you so much. Sorry for the weird read. And I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello. Pile number 3. Blessed angels. What'd you guys pick? Creativity and sharing and the anchor. We're going to tap into this energy shortly as sort of an energy check here to see what exactly is in your blind spot in regards to what you're not seeing. Okay, and this could be maybe in your subconscious or maybe how you're engaged, not knowing why you're engaged the way you are. It's not visible to you, why you're behaving or seeing or acting the way you are in your situation, or maybe something in your situation that you're not really aware of or understanding in a certain way. So this should help provide clarity or maybe understand why things are happening kind of as they are. Because it's in our blind spot, we don't understand it, even if it is about ourselves. Okay, so I will ask you to use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether this messaging is right for you. Pre-shuffled oracle cards, I've not looked at them. This is the best way to tap into your intuition is throughout the card layout, which we'll be doing shortly, but you can click on the channeled message, which I'll put a timestamp to that if you don't want to sit throughout that process. But let's tap into this. So the anchor. The anchor is about grounding something in this context, okay? Because anchor could be feeling weighed down. I feel the only reason why you would feel weighed down is if you're not anchoring something. And with the creativity and sharing, it's like a burning passion to take action on some sort of project or to create something here. Maybe that's what we're not seeing. Like, how can I ground this? How can I make security out of this thing? So, are you already sharing your creative pursuit with the world? Are you already feeling grounded and secure? Or are you not trusting how secure this could actually be for you before you actually share it with the world or share it with yourself? Let's see. This is an interesting energy. What are you not seeing? Pile number 3. So we have the dancer, self-expression and strength. Yeah, this is totally about the creativity, you know, sharing, like being seen, and the courage to be seen. Okay, the squirrel. Squirrels prepare all sort of fall to gather everything it needs. Is always kind of working here to for the long term. They're very much giving me this Saturn energy, you know, the dedication and commitment we put in today is required for there to be sort of a tomorrow that we want to see, because the squirrel's nuts and all the stuff that it gathered, it will rely on at one point. And squirrels can also kind of have fun as they're working, you know. There's a very fast energy. Okay, let's see. The Rose's Kiss, number 9. Little ladybug's all about luck. Financial wealth as well with the ladybug. Okay. The Rose's Kiss. 9 is about fulfillment. It's also about fruition and completion. I think there's something to come to fruition. Something fulfilling. We have you guys, check the front door. 2 squirrels? 2 squirrels. Maybe you're seeing squirrels. I'm blown away. Sorry, 2 squirrels. Like, how are we getting 2 squirrels here? I gotta read the squirrel energy because we got 2 squirrels. So, let's see. Bob Ross Oracle with the squirrel. It's kind of a short one here, but let's see. It says, of all God's creatures, squirrels held a special place in Bob Ross's heart. The little tree urchins, as he calls them, would come to to him for food and comfort. I have a big walnut tree in my yard, and the little squirrels come and they eat walnuts. We have little power struggles over who's going to get the walnuts, me or the squirrel. Guess who wins? The squirrel has got a nest full of nuts, and I have none. The squirrel can be weary of strangers, but knows where to find help in times of need. It further reminds us to prepare for the future. Okay, I was getting that for sure. Squirreling away nuts for the tough times when there isn't anyone to help and we must stand on our own. Something about something actually being grounded, solid, that you could rely on for the future. Okay, and sometimes we don't want to take a risk or invest if we don't know that it's solid or reliable for the future. Okay, so let's see what squirrel's going on over here. Squirrel. This isn't alphabetical, so I look like I don't know what I'm doing, but trust. Okay, here. So the fluffy-tailed squirrel is a busybody. Yes, feeling that as well. Constantly climbing, running around, exploring and foraging for food. As the seasons begin to turn in the latter half of the year in the northern hemisphere, the active squirrel prepares for winter by burying nuts and seeds in the ground for later. Whenever squirrel energy is present, make no mistake, you're being asked to look ahead on your journey and plan accordingly. Do you have all the ducks in a row? Or is this case a sufficient supply of food stored for the long journey ahead? Or in this case, a sufficient supply of food stored for the long journey ahead. You need a plan, and a solid one, depending on your personality. Creating a plan may or may not feel daunting, but whatever you're trying to accomplish requires attention to detail and great foresight. Take the time to write out your plan, step by step, to have an adequate solution and some structure that will benefit you later. It's typically better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. You'll thank yourself later. Let's see. I feel like this is the problem that you're not seeing. I think you're trying to be overly prepared is kind of what I feel before you take action or share something or be seen. And I think the advice is you don't need to. Let's see. Okay, so we have not stability, security, resilience. Look at this. Oh my goodness, you guys, with this security, you know, preparing all the nuts, making sure we're stable, grounded, secure. Like there's so much of this energy being pulled through, but I think this is the limitation or the concern you have. The cop, yeah, concern. It's like the cop is, you know, trying to create order here. Like we can't do this and we can do that and we should only do that, and I don't know, I feel there's restriction here for some reason. Okay, cosmic womb, the divine feminine, number 6. That's creative energy. That's creative energy. And 6 is the lovers, which is a choice, you know, and that's the divine path to follow with the 6. The choice to go in the divine path. It's also about problem solving, harmony. Okay, surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. I'm seeing the Ace of Wands here too, which is creative action, being inspired. Intuition and manifestation with spirit, number 3. Okay, and then we have Pluto. It's a shadow energy, number 10. Scorpio. Could it be our fears? What's really driving the agenda here? The web is talking about creativity as well. Like creating something solid that would be providing something for us. And here we have the blue temple. This is number 54, or the number 9 pulling through again. Blue temple. Okay, we have the anchor. You guys, I can't even. Look at this. Okay. Are you weighed down by having to make a choice here? Because of what you know, what feels responsible, what should feel secure before taking action. You want to get grounded. And look, Ace, all about opportunity, new beginning, taking action. It's like Fool, taking the risk. And the 10th, temporary situation, something that it can't be relied on, something that evolves. This too shall pass. Number 10, completion, end of cycle. Okay, let me sit with this, you guys. I've never seen such a freaking synchronistic type reading here coming through. So powerful. Okay, you can click on the timestamp to go straight to your reading. Okay, pile 3. This is such an interesting energy here. Okay, I feel like I don't know exactly where you sit, but I feel the majority of you guys are very practical people wanting stability, security, and a guarantee of something, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, it makes a lot of sense here. And I think you're over and above this need for having to make sure things are safe and secure and rooted in a way before taking the action I think that you're needing to take here. So it's preventing giving you the thing that I think you want, and this is what you don't see. Now, for a small group of you guys, which I don't think this is the message, but it could be, if you've tapped into this reading, you're launching with something here, and Spirit is saying, hey, make sure to stop, don't invest right away until you know for sure that this is something that is going to be, kind of producing for you. But this is for those of you guys who haven't spent really any time and just got this sort of inspiration of an idea. Okay, I'm going to invest my life savings in this thing and go with that, because I think this is going to be just a fleeting thing. Okay, but it's not to cause confusion, because I think the majority of you guys, and how you'll know is that you've spent a lot of time already in preparing, contemplating, securing. It's time spent in this creative thing. Okay, it's like I don't know if it's your yoga studio or your book or your YouTube channel or your thing. Okay, like you've already invested time here, and I think you're stopping yourself by not understanding or seeing exactly that you don't need anything else to secure and land this thing that's absolutely grounded already. It's not going to be a temporary transient thing here that isn't going to provide to you what you're needing. And I feel like you're needing sort of everything to align here if you're going to commit to this. Like, I need to make sure that it could pay my bills, or I need to make sure that it's aligned in some way here. And Spirit is saying you won't get to that complete validation until you take that first step. So there's no amount of like keep squirreling away the reassurances all you want all day long, but at a certain point we have to take action. And I think we're not taking action because there's something deeper here that we're not seeing in regards to the fear. And the fear is maybe we fear it might not go exactly as we had intended, or that what happens if it is just sort of a fleeting thing that fails, or what happens if I experience something when I do this that I don't really want, where someone else comes in and sort of tries to dictate or get in the way, or this thing sort of veers off, and so we let that sort of what ifs drive the agenda. So Spirit is saying, if we have any doubt that is based on the what ifs, it's time to do it. Those are only doubts in the thought. You're ready. You're prepared. Time to be seen by the world. This is going to bring a bunch of abundance to you. You can anchor in this. You can share it with the world. You're getting this inspiration for a reason. It is secure. Okay, and if we're feeling any sort of doubt or hesitation or held back because of a what if, see that this is stemmed from something deeper here that is untrue. It's like our own shadow self that is giving us reason why we cannot, or that we have to stop, or that we have to regulate for some reason, and we don't. Okay, and then we can make up stories all day long and say, but what if it doesn't pay my bill, and but these are all the what ifs, and Spirit's already saying in this message, it's like it will be financially abundant, and it will be fulfilling, and it's stemmed from the love you have for this thing that I feel you've already prepared. Okay, but if you were resonating with the other part, it's like all of a sudden I was inspired in the middle of the night to go, I don't know, drive this agenda and invest my whole life savings, but I didn't do my due diligence here. Spirit is giving a big flag, like, wait. This is just a temporary sort of idea. Is this aligned with your truest expression? Because your expression might change. And if you're already anchored into this thing and your expression sort of changes here, you're kind of tied into something and go down with this ship that I don't think you want to go down. So give it some more time. Give it some more time to contemplate. Okay. And I feel like how you'll also know, if you're gung-ho on doing this anyway, like I'm just going to do it anyway, you're most likely the one that's supposed to stop. If you're gung-ho on, is that me? Maybe I need to stop. Maybe I need to. Then that is the one that's saying, hey, go for it. I know this is sounding a little cryptic, but yeah, like if you're just blinded by your own inspiration here and just sort of letting it rip, and I don't want to limit you, go ahead. Like if you want to do it, go ahead. But the message here is stop to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. And then Spirit will sort of take the wheel when you've done everything that you can. But if you haven't done everything that you can, don't just give the wheel to Spirit here. You're still birthing, you're still creating this web. So I feel, if you are doing everything you've already could do, it's time for you to surrender to Spirit, your intuition. Allow this manifestation to happen. It wants to get grounded. You need to ground this thing. Share it with the world. Let your expression come out. Okay, wowzers. Let's see. Spirit's message for pile 3. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. What am I missing exactly here in this message? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. So we have High Priestess, and we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So High Priestess is this intuition. It's an inner knowing, and maybe something we're not seeing concrete. The 8 of Pentacles is the working card, okay, which we're putting our energy and our effort towards creation. In the reverse, it's like, I'm not even going to do this, because sometimes this could mean we don't even try because there's other things going on where we might feel like if I tried anyway, what happens if it fails, so we don't even do it. So we're like, I'm not prepared yet, so I don't do it yet. But it's like we're already capable. We have to take the first action. We have to put the energy and the effort and the dedication towards the first step of doing the thing, and we're kind of just, I don't know, still like convincing ourselves we need more preparation. No, not yet. Meanwhile, in the subconscious here, we're stopped from this being created. We got to take that step. We got to take that step, bring it in from our intuition into reality, into Pentacle realm. And we're hesitating. We're wanting to see more proof. But I feel like it's time to manifest this thing. A star in reverse. Yeah, so we never see our creation, our wish, our hope. In the reverse, it's like it just remains a hope, but I eventually stop to know how I'm going to get there, or I don't see the vision. Like this is our North Star, like where we're moving towards, and blocked, it's like, I'm not sure how I could attain this thing, I'm not sure how I could attain it, and so I need to know the exact pathway. Meanwhile, it's like all you need to know is the vision you have of what you want, and trust Spirit and do what you can, and this wish will come true. Your desire will come true. But the blocked here is like, I think you're not knowing how to get there, and you don't need to know how to get there. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, it's like, I think you're dependent on some practical thing that you're not seeing as the reason why you're not stepping forward here. It's like dependent on an understanding you might have, rather than just trusting your intuition and saying, I don't need to, you know, with all the squirrel energy here in this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We're dependent on some sort of area in our world to do something for us before we can trust. Meanwhile, don't rely too much here on what you're seeing pentacle-wise, but lean into the intuition for this manifestation, that it is the right time, that you can take action. Okay. Five of Cups in reverse. So Five of Cups is an energy of looking back in sadness, you know, and regret, and looking at what can't happen or what didn't happen. 10 Pentacles in reverse. And the King of Wands. And under that, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, so 10 Pentacles in reverse and the King of Pentacles in reverse. This is like opposite of the sort of the squirrel energy, because this is the long-term building of an empire, how long it takes to make the stability. The Pentacle realm, it takes a while to create the thing. The thing will take some time to create, okay, for sure. But we won't get all of this abundance and creative structure and financial wealth if we don't take that step and put in that dedication and follow the North Star. We sit back and look at it, oh, it didn't happen for me. I always had this business vision or this creative pursuit, and I'm looking at the reason why I couldn't. You know, I had to stay at my job because they needed me there, or I had a family that I didn't want to risk, you know, I don't know, like taking the step. It would be a selfish thing. And so, but now we're looking at the missed opportunity, and Spirit's saying, get out of your own way of why you think you can't do this thing. Lean into your intuition, follow your North Star. Okay, it will grow into something that is stable and solid if we follow the North Star of doing this thing and allowing the universe to take action. But we have to be confident in our vision, our ability. The King of Wands gets everything the King of Wands wants. Period. End of story. He finds a way to do it. He has the vision. He has the passion. He doesn't stop at no. He doesn't stop at any reason why something would be a no. There is no no. Okay, this is like, if you know any businessman, you know, especially a salesman. Okay, there is no no. There's just, how do I achieve my thing? And so I feel like you can achieve your thing, but I feel like we're shying away from having this King of Wands energy and saying, this North Star of mine, this vision I have is something that I know I can attain. And once I attain this, the rest will come. The pentacles will come. But if I'm focused on the reasons how I can't, or what's keeping me sort of here, now my energy is more focused on what didn't work and what couldn't. So intuition calling, saying, hey, you have this King of Wands energy in you. Ace of Cups. So we're sad because emotionally I feel there's a lot of love. You know, there's a lot of love for the thing that we want to create. It's a self-expression. It's sharing with the world. It's getting fired up. It's talking to our heart. This is all about creativity for self. It fills our cup. If we stay where we're at, it doesn't fill our cup. It doesn't fill our cup. Okay, and so we're saying, well, but I get this pentacle, or I'm dependent on something here. But it's like, but your cup's not full here. It's making you feel like this. So I think there is a need to trust in the divine. Okay, now if I get back to the other, you know, I got a fly-by-night idea. I want to invest my life savings, but I don't want to put any effort and any work into this thing. It's just going to happen for me. Spirit is saying, well, you're not going to build anything here with this. Okay, you're not building anything here with this because it's going to take consistent dedication here towards the thing that you love to do. Like, you're going to have to love it. You know, all you need is the love, but the love kind of peters out here. Your inspiration kind of peters out because your self-expression, like I said, it's not really aligned. It might just be in the moment. So are you sure you're grounded in that? That is your authentic being, you know, that's really bought into that? Or are you just sort of buying into it temporarily? And it's just going to kind of fizzle out and you're just not even going to have interest in this anymore. You know, you're not going to have interest because your interest is elsewhere. So it's just reminding you, like, are you really passionate about this thing because it's for you? You're really fired up about this thing? Then take action. You know, then take action. But nothing in this world is difficult, you know? Like, this Eight of Pentacles isn't going to feel like strenuous when we are working towards the thing we love. It feels easy. It feels nice. But if we don't take that step, you know, and do it, we'll never know. We'll never get our wish. So let's just get some advice for you guys, pile 3. Because I feel like what you're not seeing here is that it's time to do this thing. And you're waiting to see something else that's never going to come. And the only thing that you should see is the love of this thing that you have. The way you want to express it and share with the world. It's time. Don't worry about, you know, is this going to be long term? How's it going to pay the bills? Is it just temporary? Can I rely on it? Is it going to change? Don't worry about those things. I know it's natural, but I feel like with double squirrel here, we're extra careful. So, Spirit, advice and guidance. Pile 3. What are they needing to know here? Temperance. This is about having a balanced energy. And look at all the fish about the abundance again. I feel like, yeah, and the ladybug, like material abundance, wealth, like being blessed with abundance here. And I feel like the only way we'll be blessed is if we show up. If we don't even show up, ready to work, ready to engage, we're not going to receive the abundance. And so this 4 Wands is the stability. It's the coming together, the union, the stability of something here that isn't going to take place unless we show up balanced to create this thing, this 4 Wands. This community, you know, this community that's going to exist when I show up, when I come balanced, when I invest in this thing. It comes together. It creates something for me. The Wheel of Fortune. So, fortune, ladybug. This is great abundance. It's coming through as Jupiter energy. Okay, Sagittarius, Pisces. This is the world bestowing on you a bunch of abundance, a bunch of blessings, things turning. And the only way for things to turn is when we know we've done everything we can and we work with the universe to take that chance to allow ourselves to flow with the universe rather than stopping ourselves, giving second thoughts as to why we cannot or why we need to be stuck to something else, because the universe wants this beautiful, magical thing to start turning, because this is your calling. You're supposed to be sharing this energy with the world. Look at that. Unity. Oh my goodness. Special card in this deck. This is our community, you know? So it's like we accept other people for exactly how they are, who they are. We work with them and we're accepted in turn. And it creates this peace. You know, this is this. Unity. Coming together. So I feel like the community you're about to create here could be at risk if we never even take it, you know, like if we're putting an album together, you know, it's like our fan base, the thing that comes alive through the thing we're building, you know. So I feel you're on this path. Spirit is giving confirmation it's something solid. You can ground it. Don't worry about the hiccups that temporarily come and go. This too shall pass. You know, you don't have to be so I don't know, like, look at both these hands, like, stop, you know? I feel like you're stopping yourself when you don't need to stop yourself because of your shadow self that is telling you, I need more preparation or I need more of this, and you don't. I'm being called now to read this Rose's Kiss, and then I think we're done with your reading. Which card is this? Okay. Where is this book? Okay. Joy, experiencing pleasure, deep satisfaction and enjoyment, desires acknowledged. 5, sensory reality. Take a deep breath and center on the feeling of joy. Can you allow your senses to awaken and connect with your innate desire to experience all life has to offer? Pleasure is part of life. Let yourself surrender to it today. Our modern times often present a false ideal of how we are meant to experience the world. Connections are lost. Oh my goodness, because this is all about connection here. Okay, connections are lost and distorted by our over-resilience on technology. Over-reliance, I'm sorry. Connections are lost and distorted by our over-reliance on technology. Over-resilience, I feel like you guys can accomplish anything here, and you don't realize it yet. Okay, just look around and see how few people actually maintain eye contact or engage in conversation instead of tapping away at the screen. Pause and consider how you can make more intimate contact. Connecting with nature, enjoying the sensual pleasures of sex, or being aware of the sensation of taste, touch, smell, sight, and sound. Interesting. That came through very strong for pile 1. If you were interested. Maybe important right now. How do your sheets feel? Can you reach out and feel the heat and softness of your companion animal nested beside you? Be present to another person. See them and let yourself be seen. Your 5 senses are aching to be engaged right now. This is an invitation to get out of your head and into your body. You might be a spiritual and intelligent being, but right now the emphasis should be on having a sensory experience. This is a sacred part of the gift of life. By being present to the sensual world, you invite an even deeper spiritual experience. Amazing, isn't it? Perhaps it really is time to stop and kiss the roses. I feel like you're unstoppable because this with that Ace of Cups, this is where your heart sits. It's pulling to you, this creativity, your self-expression, okay? Or you can be visible here. And I feel like this makes you come to life. You are in tune with your sensual self in that world. And so there's no need to block it. There's no need to be over relying on the pentacle material realm here for preparedness, because your love of this thing will carry you through to get the abundance you need, and the universe sees this and has your back. And so with the intuition, it's like, trust your intuition, come balanced, you will get abundance, the universe will pull you through. If you feel like there's certain things here that might get stuck in a practical way, the universe has your back. It will flow. Do not worry about the what if so much, because that's what you're not seeing here, is how the universe will find a way to pull you through at that time. We don't need to see the whole path. We just need to know we're on the journey. And the journey is one that you're going to love and really connect with, because it really speaks to you. It is about kissing the roses on the way there. It isn't about the destination so much, because I think the connections you make along the way you relate with getting on your way, that is the thing that you enjoy. Getting on your way there, that's the journey, that's the enjoyment, that's where the creativity kicks in, that's where you can self-express. And you could still be sort of in this squirrely energy, but the squirrely energy shouldn't stop you from taking that step and moving forward. You shouldn't be held back. Okay, and look, with resilience, and I was reading that was resilience, you are resilient. So Spirit is saying, worst thing that happens, you have a beautiful experience that you enjoyed. There's nothing bad here that's going to happen, or that you're risking, or that you're resilient, that you can't get up from. You're not going to sink and never be seen again. If you get grounded and commit to this thing, I feel like you're not going to be stuck. You're resilient. You can adjust. Okay, you can adjust and sort of pivot how you need to pivot here, because I think there is a way for us to deal with things in temporary ways along the way where we need to. It's not all fixed and grounded and it's stuck, and once we sort of stick to that idea, it has to be that way. It's like, well, the universe will give you an opportunity to adjust, course correct along the way. And so it might start off as one idea or thing, but by the end, it's going to be, and there's really no end, because I feel like it's always this journey. But the more we sort of refine this journey and go on the journey, the more aligned with what truly makes us happy here, and it starts to provide all this abundance, and it starts to get refined. Okay, but we got to trust and not to be held back here. Okay, so this is what I see, pile number 3. I hope this helped you guys. I love you so much. I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.